The rise of homeless streamers in China. Now, I'm a homeless streamer right now. Cue the black and white stream. In America, so I really appreciate it. If you're watching on the tube, make sure to comment on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch right now, please give some subs. It's currently right now. My pet is literally starving. My dog is dead starving. Just need at least 5 subs, man. Like it's been rough out here, you know? I sit here every day in an AC cooled room. It's hard, bro. It's hard. I eat fast food every day, you know, but life is still hard. Anyways.
This should be enough to buy a house, right?
50 bits? You're f***ing banned. Don't ever disrespect me with 50 bits. Did I ever say I want 50 bits? I said 5 subs at minimum. $5! It costs you $5 to be a sub. Let me stop. Alright, sending more bits. Anyways, the rise of homeless streamers. I've never heard of this. I don't know. Is there homeless streamers now? Like, is there somebody that streams for a living that's homeless? I'm literally in a home. I am in a home. Do you see what I'm around? Let's go to see this video though.
If you walk around in a Chinese city at night, you might come across something like this. Rows of
this low-key just looks like TikTok streams. Like, y'all ever seen that Miles Morales guy stream behind the scenes? Damn, that quit that. I forgot. He was low-key making it back though, but like, kind of looks just like that.
Of people, mostly young and attractive, sitting or standing on the streets in front of rows of phones and ring lights.
Oh my god, wait, they're like literally next to each other? Bro, who's like the most famous influencers in China? At this point, this is like a job. Like, everybody's an influencer. Not a single person working like a regular job.
Singing and talking and sometimes dancing. They look like streamers, but they also look homeless. Indeed, they do gather around places where homeless people tend to be. On the sidewalks, inside tunnels.
Is she wearing a Gucci shirt? Bro, your ass is already rich! What the fuck? This is top level consumerism. At least make it like less obvious that you already have money. This is the equivalent of like a homeless person outside, like begging for money, or like a Louis Vuitton begging basket. Like, please. Probably a cheap knockoff. Yeah, probably. Bro, Chinese knockoffs be f***ing crazy, bro. Like, them niggas do not care. As long as it looks like the brand, they're gonna wear it.
Tunnels, on bridges or under bridges. There was even a bridge that became so famous for this type of gathering.
What?
That
is that like a convention?
People started going there just to watch the spectacle. There was so much foot traffic under the bridge that at one point it started to look like a local festival or block party. You can see people dressed up impeccably.
She kind of look good though, bruh. Who this, bruh? You not pulling. Not expecting these facilities. Okay, yeah. See, this would ruin it for most people, but it doesn't for me. Look, sometimes you gotta play dirty, bro. You gotta play in the mud. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that one that can like get down and dirty. No, I'm not talking about the feet. I'm talking about just being in the mud, bro. It seems like y'all are projecting your foot fetish on me.
Or carrying a heavy jar of water while dancing in the mud.
What the hell?
Or downright rolling in
the like, what are you doing?
Mud. Or basically doing whatever it takes to get attention from viewers online. Now, if you're seeing this for the first time, you probably have a few commonly asked questions.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Where are they doing that? Are they streaming?
I mean, for money. I'm assuming over there, it's probably just because they have like way bigger of a population, right? It's like they have to clip farm hard as shit. Like, our clip farming is already bad. They have to go beyond that. Hey guys, Tom NFG here. You know, only half of you guys are subscribed and even less of you guys have noties on. I hate to be a burden, but you know, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button and the little bell next to it. You know, it doesn't take long. I know you can get mixed up in the algorithm and everything. But yeah, also tune into the streams. You know, we have a lot of fun over there. I'm telling you, we have a lot of parties going on over there. Yeah, that's it. Bye. Damn.
Homeless? Why are they streaming outside? Why can't they stream from home? Why are they all together like that? Why can't they just stream by themselves? Why do they seem so desperate? What's pushing them to go this far? Why is this happening? Why are we here? What's the meaning of life? The universe? Okay, I got you. In this video, I will talk about this phenomenon of homeless streaming in China. I'll talk about what it is and what caused it. And in so doing, paint a cautionary tale of...
I feel like we're reaching this territory over here in the States. I feel like nowadays, bro, you know what runs, bro? It'd be celebrities. Why did I see like motherfucking DaBaby have a stream? And it's like the nigga streaming and he's not even looking at his chat. He doesn't care, bro. He's not looking at his chat. He just has a Twitch stream on and he's playing basketball in his house.
What can happen when the attention economy goes too far? Now, like these streamers, I too am a content creator, so I feel a personal connection to their struggle. You might not be a streamer or a content creator, and that's okay. Because the lessons here are applicable across culture and geography.
DaBaby, I haven't heard that name in centuries.
Regardless of your particular domains of human endeavor. So join me as we dive in to the rise of these homeless streamers. Now, first of all, yes, they are indeed streamers, but no, they're not homeless, or at least not usually. So why are they out there on the street in the middle of the night? Well, they come out at
Yo,
night.
why do we not see these live streams? They on TikTok, right? They're probably on Douyin, like the Chinese version.
Well, they come out at night.
Yo, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all. If they allowed like the TikTok and the US audience and Chinese audience to mix together, there'd be a lot of passport bros. Yo, there would be so many passport bros. Dude, listen, bro. No matter how chopped you are as a man in the States, you could pull a 10 out of 10 baddie in China. If she looking for that visa, bro, you're in. Red Note was popping off after TikTok got banned, then got unbanned, and now it's dead. Yo, I remember everybody's hyping up Red Note. See niggas doing that too. They're like, oh yeah, there's about to be a new version of TikTok. We not using it. Who was we? Gang, I'm gonna be on that TikTok. I don't care. Unless if it's like motherfucking so censored it's beyond where I can't even like look at anything, I'm not gonna be on it. But I'm switching to that version of TikTok. Like, what the f?
Because nighttime just happens to be a peak time for streaming traffic in China. Most people would have finished work at that point and are now online seeking entertainment. So nighttime naturally has the most streamed viewers, and streamers in turn get online at night to capitalize on that. Many streamers also have day jobs and would only have time to stream at night. In terms of why they do it on the street though, it's mostly because it makes for engaging content. You're probably seeing TikTok.
Yeah, you see this in America all the time though. You always see the niggas in TikTok hitting the f***ing hi, like the NPCs or whatever and whatnot. It's not really just a thing there.
Dancers do this, filming their content in public, sometimes to the annoyance of other people. TikTokers can and do film their content in private spaces, but there's something interesting about the real world chaos. The cars and the cityscape and
Okay, what is happening here?
the social pressure of other people watching that can make the content more engaging to watch. And these Chinese streamers
Tommy should find a spot and join them and stream for us. This is immediately what happens when I go to China, try to go up to one of them. Hi, how you doing? And then this is their reaction. Ah! Get away from me. What are you? What is that? Their reaction, bro. Yo, they dead ass would see me and think like I'm a creature there. Jaden Smith, yeah, they'd be like, Jaden Smith, Jaden Smith. They cool with black people after Speed came. Loki, yeah, Speed set us up. Maybe we good now. Bro, China's like cities are crazy though. Actually, I don't think I would go. I just made fun of China so much in the government. I don't know why. I feel like they do something to me. Yeah, I don't know. Would they arrest me if they like looked at my social media and they're like, you dare disrespect the CCP regime? Y'all would see me on camera like, please. No, this is exactly how it would be like on camera. Please, President Donald J. Trump, you are the best president of my lifetime. Please save me. Please save me no matter what. You are the best president for the past however of my lifetime. And I want you to run again for a third term and fourth term and fifth term. Just please pardon me. Please save me. Trump is not saving you. Go and see the clips of me talking about abstaining and be like, I don't want to help this guy. Yeah, you know, I've tend to getting along with me and G. We've gotten along. We've started to get a better relationship. And I wouldn't want to hurt that relationship. So, buddy, you're going to have to stay in jail for life.
stream in public to capture some of that same engagement on their stream. Additionally, for some streamers, this is also an attempt to appeal to pity. The idea is that if viewers see them sitting out in the cold at 1 in the morning, they might feel empathy towards the streamers and as a result become...
Imagine like just dropping like $1 or something and they have like a hat on, they're like, yo, I'm not homeless. And I'm like, oh shit, I'll just take that shit back.
...nicer to them and donate to their stream more often. Now, I acknowledge that this looks kind of insane. In fact, when I first started researching this topic, I had to do a sanity check and contact a few people in China to make sure that they've actually seen this with their own eyes and this is not just AI-generated footage. And unfortunately, it is real. In fact, you can watch the stream from these streamers right now. You need to use a Chinese streaming platform, and here's me trying to do this a few weeks ago. I just searched for street streaming and found one after just a couple of scrolls. What was shocking to me was that I was watching this
Look
at
at this city. Why is it so like empty and dark?
1:40 in the afternoon Pacific time, which would have been about 4, almost 5 o'clock in the morning.
4 a.m. filming an IRL stream alone.
In China.
Yeah, she's
so
brave.
this poor girl was on the street at basically 5 in the morning while it was kind of raining and streaming for the 46 people who were watching this
46 people?
stream. So the question is, why
I
are
admire the dedication. Bro, this is probably how she gets paid. She sleeps at like 6 and then she wakes up like 4 hours later and has to work like, I don't know, like a factory job or some shit. Then like she's working like 15 hours a day.
they going this far?
China low-key got some safer streams than here. I mean, they definitely do. The thing is, if you do a crime there, first off, there's no guns. Like, bro, if you do like a single, like a minimal crime, they're gonna throw your ass in prison for life. Give you no due process. Like, you could have, I don't know, accidentally bumped somebody in the street. They're probably gonna throw your ass in prison.
And sure, streaming outside might make for slightly better content, but compared to the comfort of streaming from home, what's pushing these streamers to go out in the cold in the middle of the night? Now, first of all, there is a macroeconomic reason for this. After the COVID lockdown, China's economy has not rebounded as strongly as one would have hoped. The rate of unemployment is still relatively high. And
Wait, 16%? I think, yeah, unit percent. 17% almost. U.S. unemployment rate. Yeah, beat that, bitch. Yeah. Get better. Shout out to my Chinese viewers and shit, but dude, I love this country, bro. We the best, man.
Employment is still relatively high, and even those with jobs might not necessarily be able to afford the cost of living in major cities. Streaming, on the other hand, has a low barrier to entry. Basically, anyone with a phone and an internet connection can do it. So naturally, streaming becomes something many Chinese people do to supplement their income. According to CCTV, there were more than...
I'm not gonna lie, using like social media as like second source of income, that's like, damn, bro. A lot of people do that though, but like you forcing it, like I think most people when they do social media, it's like they want to do social media full time, but like you got to do social media, like basically almost put as much effort as possible. Then you got to go to like your job.
15 million professional streamers in China.
What? But you got to think of it. Okay, 15 million streamers and they have a population like a 1.2 billion. That kind of makes sense.
The end of 2023. That means roughly one in every 100 people in China were streamers. In other words, the streaming industry has become incredibly competitive. It's therefore a necessity for streamers to go the extra mile, to stand out in a sea of people making similar content if they want to make money. Making the effort to come out to the street is just one such example. But there are other factors that exaggerates this sense of desperation in streamers and push them to work harder. One of these factors is baked directly into the mechanics of Chinese streaming platforms, and it has to do with how Chinese streamers get paid. Now, many streaming platforms in the West, like Twitch and YouTube, have ad revenue sharing programs.
Oh, they don't have that. They don't believe in that.
Once streamers are qualified and accepted into the program, even if their viewers don't pay them, the streamers can still get paid from ad revenue. Chinese streaming platforms, on the other hand, don't have ad revenue sharing, or at least not yet at this time. So streamers' income has to come from the pocket of the viewers.
Bro, that is insane. No ad revenue. I mean, low-key, ad revenue on Twitch at least is pretty ass. Unless if you're like up there, yeah, it's pretty ass. But like nothing at all. At least I can say I get paid a little something at the end of the month. If I only got paid from like subs and gifters, bro, I'll probably get paid like 120 a month from Twitch. Like something like that, bro. The creator cut must be insane. Bro, you know for a fact they run ads on this shit. That is so greedy, bro. IG Reels though, IG Reels removed their ad revenue or creator program. I don't know. I guess we're not too far from them. And TikTok's pay is very shit. I know it improved recently, but like before they improved and added the new creator program, it was ass.
That usually happens in one of two ways. First is straight up viewer donation. Viewers can tip the streamers directly through these virtual gifts. This is one of the most common ways for street streamers.
Yo, do they have like their own OF and stuff or no?
To monetize. The second way is live commerce, and this is basically infomercial but on streams. Streamers would talk about the product and there will be a button at the bottom of the screen for
viewers. I mean, I'm pretty sure we got this here now. Like on TikTok, I mean TikTok shop, you always see shit like this.
To buy. When that happens, the streamer
I can say I never bought anything from like one of those TikTok shop things where it's like, oh, buy this new rug or buy this new hoodie. I've never done that. I don't know. That just can't be me. That's giving the vibe of like QVC or whatever that, you know, that one channel that all the grandmas be watching where it's just like constantly showing products and people buy them. It's dystopian.
Receives a commission from the sales. Now, regardless of how it happens, the fact remains that streamers don't get paid unless viewers take money out of their own pocket and give it to them in one way or another. This creates an
so much shit off Temu,
if ever so subtly,
TikTok shop better,
for streamers to be a bit more desperate. They seem more needy because they do need something from their viewers. Because of this, there were memes circulating on Chinese social media that compares these street streamers to beggars.
Yeah, I mean, when you kind of think of it, every person that's streaming, including me, we all basically beggars, right? Because we ask for subs and bits and donos and shit. Yeah, I'm basically out here like this to y'all. I'm basically out there like this. Please. My family needs food. It's all of us.
Here's one such meme. At the top here says, old school beggars. Bottom says, new age beggars. Now, I can see some resemblance, but to be fair, streamers do provide some form of entertainment. Right. They do sing and dance and so on, so a better comparison might be to street performers rather than beggars. There's another thing that sets streamers apart from beggars, and that's the fact that many street streamers are often parts of a business or company that specializes in social media content creation. These companies are officially known as MCN, or multi-channel network, in the industry. They're basically streaming agencies or influencer agencies. They provide streamers with training, equipment, help them broker sponsor relationship, and with other logistical tasks in exchange for
They
a
probably take advantage of them like, oh my god, crazily over there.
cut of
I mean, if they take advantage of people over here, then I can only
the
imagine
streamer's
that.
revenue. Now, you might wonder why any influencer would want to give up a portion of their revenue to join an agency. You've got a smartphone and a data plan, so just point the camera at yourself and hit record, right? How hard could it be? Well, there are actually a lot of things content creators need to do that has little to do with creating the content itself. For instance, I just spent a week filing my taxes. Even though my channel was monetized for less than 2 months last year and made about $200, I still had to include that business activities on my tax filing, because there's apparently a difference between cash-based accounting and accrual-based accounting. And if you don't know what any of that means, I didn't either. So that's how I spent a week. Thank you for asking. Now, no offense to the accountants out there. This is fascinating stuff, but as a content creator, it's probably more efficient and relevant for me to spend a week researching for this video topic instead of learning how to depreciate a capital asset at fair market value.
Low key, I decently know how to like do my own finances and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud to say that. But yeah, and I do definitely pay somebody to do my taxes. Like, yo, I be tracking all the shit I be buying, you know? Anything I buy that is like for the quote unquote business, right? Any content creators basically running their own like a little business. According to legal terms, I always like make sure I write it down, anything I buy. I need my write-offs, bro.
Value. The idea of a company taking care of these kind of things for me, it sounds like a great value proposition in theory. But in practice, joining an agency, especially in China, usually means giving up on some degree of creative and career freedom. And depending on how ethical the agency you're working with is, you could be giving up on a lot of freedom to the point that you are trapped contractually. As part of joining an agency in China, streamers might face restrictions on what kind of content they can stream, where and when
What type of content is crazy?
they have to stream, and quotas like how much revenue they must generate per week. And keep in mind that Chinese streamers don't make revenue until viewers give it to them. Failing to meet these quotas could result in fines. And if streamers try to leave the agency before their contract's completion, they could get sued. So it's easy.
Dude, this deadass sounds fucking terrible. Bro, this sounds like a 360 contract. They have to choose what you stream. And if you leave early, you get a fine. From what I know with marketing agencies, at least here, and the creators I talk to, it's like they'll give you like a short-term one, like a year. You can cancel at any time. Also, if you get a really fucked up one where they're like, it's a cancel fee.
Easy to see how these restrictions can intensify desperation and push streamers to hustle ever more frantically to avoid breaching contract terms. For example, you might have seen clips like this circulating on the internet. People have called them influencer factories, and these would have been operated by influencer agencies. Not all of them look this bad though. There are some with better conditions, like this one based in Indonesia. But
this is still crazy though, bro.
the business idea is the same.
Like, this takes out all the joy of content
There are some
creation.
with-
Where is the fun at?
The business
Bro, if I had to be here, it was like a cubicle. There was like 20 other streamers. I'd be like, bro, this is a 9 to 5, dog. That's the thing that's supposed to feel good about content creation. Like, technically, some people do work content creation maybe 9 to 5. It's still like different. It's not like you're going to an actual physical building, clocking in, talking to your boss or whatever. You're your own boss.
The content creation process, from training to
Office job for
filming to
streaming?
distribution, so the content can be
what
mass
is this?
manufactured like commodities in factories. And many of these street streaming gatherings are just the other side of the same coin. Now, some street streaming gatherings are formed organically from independent streamers, but we know that many are organized by agencies because there are hints in the footage that reveal this. For example, here the streamers are all using the same ring lights and nearly identical setups.
Yeah.
You can also sometimes see tech support staff
Is that a filter?
assisting the streamers. There's even a continuous red carpet that are laid out on the ground sometimes,
fuck?
indicating that the team had come and set this up beforehand for their streamers as part of an organized business operation.
looks so dystopian.
Regardless of how these gatherings form, there is something off-putting about them. They look
Yeah.
almost dystopian, like something out of a Black Mirror episode. One of the
No,
reasons
deadass, that's a perfect example.
it looks so jarring is because it juxtaposes a series of polar opposites that really shouldn't belong together. For instance, it juxtaposes the appearance of wealth and fame to poverty and obscurity.
I think this is like kind of reminding me like over here when we have like industry plans. Whenever people see an industry plan and it's clear like whatever company or label is pushing it, it's like people can tell it's fake. Like they feel it's fake because they see this random person coming out of nowhere talking to all these people and they're like, bro, who the is this? Like, why is this person coming here? Feels weird. It doesn't feel natural. Dochi. Funny enough, I don't think Dochi's an industry plant though. Industry plant is more like you've been doing music or whatever, maybe for a year or two, or sometimes they just find somebody completely new that has no record. Then the label just like pushes them like crazy to the top. Dochi, she had like music from like 8 years ago. Like she's been doing music for a long time. But with her, it's like the label just started pushing her so much. I think for a lot of people, it became apparent when they were pushing her too much when she had the Timeless remix and just ruined that song. I don't think she's an industry plant though, but a good example, an industry plant was actually Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper, I'm pretty sure, was an industry plant, and then eventually people liked him. So sometimes it can work.
Are all dressed in glamorous clothing, with beautiful makeups, in front of spotlights and cameras, as if they are celebrities. Yet in reality, they are out on the street, like homeless beggars. It also juxtaposes human connections and loneliness.
And also, why is it night? Like, do they not stream at like daytime?
On one side, viewers from all around the country are connecting intimately with their favorite streamers.
Yo, these filters are creeping me out. Not their real face. What is this?
A modern miracle facilitated
Deadass
by
look
the
like
internet.
aliens?
On the other side,
But over there, that's like the beauty standard, bro. The beauty standard's like, I mean, it's just being really pale, to be honest. It's like being pale and like super fucking white, bro.
everyone is alone.
They look like
Most
dolls.
viewers are probably in a room by themselves staring at the screen, while the streamers sit just inches apart from each other, yet never interact. Everyone is locked in the prison of their digital worlds, appearing to connect, yet never really do. It juxtaposes collectivism and individualism as well. China has a collectivist culture, after all. So by and large, people prioritize social cohesion and group well-being above their personal ambition. These street gatherings seem to trend towards this kind of collectivism. Everyone is sitting in front of the same equipment while doing the same things. It looks like they are one unit, working towards the common goal. But the reality is quite the opposite. It's hyper-individualistic. The streamers aren't working towards any sort of collective well-being. Rather, each streamer is out for themselves, climbing over each other to take...
Do they not want to change it up, though? They just want to sit down and do the same thing every time? Like, just sitting down, talking to chat, nothing's different?
The slice from a pie that is only so large. There are only so many viewers on the platform that night, each of them with only so much budget for tips. For one streamer to gain a viewer's attention and tip is for another to lose it. And this individualistic zero-sum competition leads to the last juxtaposition, the appearance of individuality and its complete erasure. The point of streaming is supposed to be connection. It's a platform for streamers to show their authentic personality and uniqueness for their fans to connect with. And each streamer here appears to try to do that. They're all dressed up, enthusiastic, and entertaining. But in reality, they've lost their individuality in their very attempt to show it. The reality is that they're all doing the same things in front of the same gears. This process of mass production...
Is this similar to streamers over here? No. Because over here, you still have like creative control over what you want to do. Like there is just one thing, bro.
Production of content has turned content creation into a commodity. And each streamer is but one of many identical cogs in the content creation machine that churns out the same sort of MP4 files onto the influencer factory conveyor belt. Now, what's happened to this content creation industry is something I'll call rat raceification. That is
MFs
not
have
a
no
real
attention
word,
span, no
but
dead ass.
I'm going to use it to refer to this process of transforming.
That's why people also say too with this, whenever people get into content creation and they only want to get in for the money, there's no point. I'm gonna be honest, bro. If you only want to do content creation and your only thing is like, oh, I just want to have more money and shit, it's not gonna work because people are gonna be able to tell eventually. Like I feel like a lot of people there can tell, especially when they see these setups, they probably think like, oh, I don't want to watch this shit. I want to watch somebody more authentic or something over there. And I think that's what they'll choose to do.
Suit
A lot of shit nowadays is a rat race. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how like similar like America and China is in that
turns
sense.
otherwise creative and productive pursuit into zero-sum hustle. Content creation was a cool thing initially. It was a venue for creatives
Otherwise, low quality.
to share their work, and people who resonated with them could start following them. It was sort of amateur and underground, and Asian parents had yet to agree that it was a real job. And then people started noticing how much money...
Do Asian parents think social media is a real job? My mom thinks it is, yes. I don't know. From what I've heard from my Asian friends, bro, it's like, it's very hard to convince your parents that you want to do social media or something different. Especially something different from, like, education.
was in it and began to...
Hey, shit, my parents were similar, though, bro. At a certain point, even when I was doing this shit, even when I had 100K, they were like, oh, like, what if it fails? Like, can't bet everything on this or whatever, this and that. It was like a halfway belief. Even though I literally was showing results and, like, I was doing pretty good.
flood into the industry.
Filipino mom
There was
thinks it
enough
is.
financial reward there for some people to be willing to go to the extreme to win. Next thing you know, the whole endeavor became a zero-sum rat race, something that isn't so different from the traditional rat race, like working at a bad office job with an exploitative employer. So you can sit in your street cubicle and do streaming work the same way you sit in your office cubicle and do paperwork.
Yeah, funny enough though, like with office work in America, I know it's considered like hell or whatever for a while. It's actually like a pretty cozy job to have compared to a lot of shit you could have. Like, there's a lot of jobs, bro. Like, niggas would trade everything, bro, to have like just an office job, just to sit down on a computer, cool it at a computer, just do your work, be done after a couple hours, and then just be on your phone. Like, there's a lot of people that would do that, especially from other countries, bro. Dude, they would dream to have a job like this. It's more mentally straining, yeah. But didn't a lot of offices start to take down like the cubicles and shit? Like, they have like more open office spaces, because I feel like with closed office spaces, it feels like school. Open spaces to me is always better. Dead end jobs, like you're just sitting there and like you don't even see the person next to you unless you like go up on your cubicle and like look over.
Work. Just a different flavor of soul sucking, but your soul is getting sucked either way. This doesn't just happen in Chinese content creation, of course. In the West, for instance, you can find courses online that teach you how to churn out basically garbage content quickly, or
AI slop,
even in an automated fashion, so that you can extract easy and fast income or even passive income on social media platforms. And this isn't limited to the content creation industry.
But deadass, who is watching these AI slop videos? That's the thing. I don't know a single human being. That's a lie. Okay, I know human beings that watch AI videos, but like the slop, like the crazy shit you see, I don't know who's watching. Little kids and old ass unks. I think it's that.
Either.
Yeah.
Rat racification can and has happened to many industries. But personally, as a content creator, it is a shame for me to see the rat
Damn, I just realized now we're never gonna experience a world without AI. That just hit me. These kids are growing up on AI videos. Dude, I remember growing up on the internet, bro. It's just so authentic.
Racification of my industry in real time.
That just hit me. I don't know why. I just thought of that randomly.
Since I started making content, I've made many YouTuber friends who have since quit making videos. Many of them have come to content creation with one expectation, and when that expectation wasn't met, they soon burnt out. Now that's
a lot of people, I'm telling you, bro. As much as people say, oh yeah, no, like I don't know, you're just like you're a YouTuber, you're a streamer, just basically do nothing, you get paid good or whatever. It's like, you know how many friends I have that are like, oh, I'm gonna start content creation or whatever, ask me for advice, they post like 1 or 2 videos and then they quit. Niggas are not consistent, bro. Okay, look, a bunch of people always be asking me in the chat like, oh yeah, advice on this or that or whatever, how to start content creation. Bro, just post and be consistent. But that's what every creator says. As long as you're consistent, eventually it will work out. It might take some time, you might blow up fast, you never know. But yeah, as long as you just keep posting, like bro, I was posting since I was like 13, bro. I was posting videos. I failed YouTube like 3 times basically before it actually worked for me, you know?
Just a personal theory of mine, but I think the rat race is a choice to some degree. I believe that it's possible to not participate in the rat race, even if the industry one is in is rat racifying in real time. In other words, just because other people in my industry are rat racing out of control doesn't necessarily mean that I have to do it too. Now, I'm not giving
that's true.
Career.
It's always your choice to like join along something like that.
Guys here, and I'm not saying what I'm doing is the only way. But just to use it as an example, I had a friend who asked me this once. He said, Lewis, look at these big YouTube channels like Mr. Beast, right? They have much bigger budget and teams of professional writers and editors. All you have is a camera and a keyboard, so how can you possibly compete? Now, this is just my take on it, but I don't think I am competing with Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast makes great content, but the content
am I right, guys? Am I right, guys? Only 399 million more subs.
Makes looks nothing like the content I make. In fact, the only commonality between our content seems to be that we're both breathing while filming and maybe speaking English. I'm looking for something more specific. I'm looking to create content that falls in the intersection between what I love making, what I'm good at making, and what people like watching. And this intersection will be different for different creators, almost by definition. I learned this from listening.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is definitely a mix of like all the content I do, I like to do it for the most part. It might be more of a task, like the main channel videos is obviously more of a task. I like how the videos turn out for sure. Like I always watch back my videos, I'm like, damn, this is good. I hope people like it. I'm also making it for y'all. I'm like, I hope y'all like it because like I think it's a pretty like funny video to cover or whatever or this or that.
Into Naval Ravikant, although I think it might actually be a variation of the Japanese philosophy of Ikigai. So feel free to look into these sources further if you're interested in this idea. I adopted the idea for YouTube, but the original is much more general and can be applied to pretty much any industry. The idea is that you should pick an endeavor that falls in the intersection of what you love doing, what you are good at, and what people are willing to pay you for. Now, if someone is exclusively motivated by money, they'll tend to ignore what they love doing. They'll push hard on what they are good at and what they'll get paid for. And that is one way that you could get yourself into a rat race. If you're just grinding it out and hustling, then you're not getting anything intrinsic out of the experience. And that's a problem, not because of some romantic...
That's why y'all donate me like 100 subs a stream, right? Y'all love what I'm putting out.
...notion of this "you must do what you love" cliche. The reason is much more practical. Exclusive outcome orientation is a problem because it's a competitive disadvantage. If you're good at something but hate it, someone else who is also good at it but love it will outdo you. The trick is therefore to be ambitious enough to follow your passion, but never be so idealistic as to lose sight of what you're good at and what people will pay for. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. On average, it takes a lot of time and countless...
Wait, what am I best at? Am I better at streaming or editing, y'all? I mean, actually, the whole chat is watching me stream, so y'all probably gonna say streaming. Editing, but you are improving a lot on streaming type shit. Yeah, no, if you compare my streams from like 2 years ago or whatever to now, it's like a crazy gap, like a crazy difference.
Trial and error, and success isn't guaranteed. For example, I'm still iterating to find my sweet spot.
I'm not gonna lie, stuttering too.
In the intersection
we're just throwing
between these
insults.
three circles regarding my own effort on YouTube. My channel hasn't made enough revenue to cover what I've spent since I quit my job, so I'm still in the red so far. And it remains to be seen whether it'll work out before I run out of savings. I am ready, though, to take my resume back to the job market if it doesn't work out. And I'd probably keep making...
But that was an interesting video. Anyways, yeah, if you're watching on the tube, you know what I'm saying? Be glad I'm not on the street like that. Doing that. Maybe I will be soon, I don't know. But yeah, if you're watching on the tube, make sure to join the Discord and watch streams.
Subscribe to Tommy NFG.